we start. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bob's Garage. We got something a little bit different this time. We purchased a new vehicle on an online auction. So we're just heading out now early this morning, go pick it up. We'll bring you back. I'm not going to tell you much about it till we get there, because there'll probably be some explanation we'll have when we start showing you around the vehicle. So anyways, sit back, relax, and we'll next time we'll bring you back is when we're there to pick up the vehicle. I could do a whole lot of videotaping here because I'm on a very twisty road. So far everything is working really well. No check engine lights, which was a concern. There was a low coolant level before, but that's cleared. Truck's running really smooth. The only thing I can see so far, like the brakes were kind of scuffed up from sitting. Like a little bit of corrosion on them. The windshield's got some scratches from, looks like the wipers going on will dry, but everything else seems to be going good. I've got the gauges shown here, running cool. So what I was concerned about with the shroud being broken, and I'll show you the details afterwards, but the shroud being broken and the plow, I was wondering how it would perform. It's a cold day, but so far okay. I'm amazed at the ride quality of a 5500. I thought for sure this would be one hell of a bucking bronco. It's actually incredibly smooth. So pretty happy so far. Okay, got a check engine light. It's the knock sensors, lost communication. The rear one definitely looks like it's not right. Don't know how well that's going to show up, but that's their Bank 2 sensor. And you can see the signals just aren't normal. Should be a pretty reasonable pattern, but that one is just basically square wave on off. So that's an electrical fault with that sensor. If you compare that to Bank 1, so the front sensor just off the turbocharger, you can see the information is a lot more linear, or smoother. So that's looking and it's basically following load on the motor. So it seems to be reasonable. It should start going up now as I go up a hill. Yep, there it goes. So that seems right. Okay, we're in a location we can talk a little better. We were in the municipal yard, and I didn't really want to run a camera when we were there. We got a picture picking it up, but we're now in about halfway back home. So far we had a brake that was a bit tight. I was able to free that up, so I'll have to go check through those as well. And the def light came on. Other than that though, everything seems to run really well. I scrolled through some of the menu and it looks like the filters have all been changed relatively recently. Truck runs surprisingly smooth for having that heavy a suspension. So I'll take you a little bit of a walk around. So again, it's a 2018 Dodge Ram. It's got a Western whiteout blade. Now I just tried to retract the wings here, but it doesn't seem to be power on, so I'll check that out. I don't suspect there'll be too much of an issue there, but we'll see. Like I said, all the connectors are on, the auxiliary switch is in, the relays are built underneath the car, so might be a problem there, but that should be pretty straightforward. This was the brake here that was this was the brake that was tight, but what I was able to do is just get a hammer and tap on the back, just basically hammer a bit just to shake it up a little bit, break some rust. So I expect I'll have to go around that.
It's like I said, 2018. It's got 215,000 kilometers, so that's roughly about 120,000 miles. It was a municipal truck, largely just for the municipal yards for plowing. It wasn't for the roads, as far as I know. And you can see a lot of road repair. So a fair bit of cleanup. This box, I expect, I'll keep it on for a while and get some information, but lots of cargo needs to be scraped off. So I'll probably be going to a fair bit of solvent. Got some touch-up to do on the frame, but that's all nice and accessible. So it shouldn't be too bad to get that cleaned up and get a coat of paint on it. Inside, so you can see on the paint here, we've got tar and whatnot, but again, I think with some solvent, that'll come off fairly well. No dents, a few scratches here and there, some oxidation, but I think that's just from some lubricant. Nice. One little dent up front here, but I'm going to try popping that out with some tools I have. Inside, what you would expect for a truck that was doing its work. So this is going to be the part that I think we're going to wind up having some fun with to see how much we can clean up and try different cleaning products in there. The tar from the road work. So again, it's a base model tradesman. I think it's should come up pretty good. And other than this seat, which is pretty much standard for these, headliner's good. A little bit of on the visor. Again, we'll try with some solvents. It's dirty, but we should be okay. I can see the mats there, lots of tar there, so we'll have to knock all that loose.
There'll be lots of videos to come in the cleaning process.
Yeah, that'll be a big part of it, is going through just making it a little bit more respectable. Back seat, and this will be going through that in a little bit more detail from previous owners. There's a couple of jugs of coolant, so the coolant's low, so every now and then it would come on and off, so I'll check that. So being a municipal truck, I suspect it was serviced pretty good. Tires look okay. The back got a little bit of wear on them, so I'm not sure how they'll do with the safety. They're not down to the wear bars yet. It certainly, like I said, certainly going to use a fair bit of cleaning. The thing on the side. Dump box is solid. No holes in it, no rust, so that's nice. Again, no dents or anything, no signs of rust on the cab. In 2018, it's about the only dent I can find on it. One little teeny mark there, so I can try to get that out. Like I said, I still haven't figured out the plow, but not really important to me. We're obviously not keeping that, but I got to get it somewhat running for I'll do a separate video with starting it up. These are all the relays been added for the plow system, and so I'll go through that and find out which has got power and what's not. Oh, charge guard. Not sure what that is. It's dirty. I plan to, once the motor's cooled off, and we've got some other things, but the mechanical's done, get the motor cleaned out. This the fan shroud here. It's got some cracks on it. That seems to be awful common on as well. I got to get that fixed. We did some cooling in there. I'll make sure that adequate cooling. But that's it so far.
So stay tuned for future videos to see what our plans are.
Yep, we'll give you a little bit of an idea of what we plan to do it. I think the first step, though, is we're going to go through getting the repair work done, cleanup done, and our next video will tell you what we're doing with this truck. And again, Ram 5500, you're probably wondering why we picked up such a large truck, and we'll explain that.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, and I think at the same time we'll give some information of what the challenges we went through when we went to register this self. We're not a business, so this is just private, but give you some idea of what you can expect when you buy a truck this large.
What a huge learning curve for us.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't exactly what I expected it to be, but we got through it. Okay, thanks, and like I said, we'll either bring you back later in this video or have another video that describe a little bit more details of the repairs. Thanks.
Bye for now.
So I thought I'd tear right into it and start looking at or addressing some of the things that I know are wrong. So then one of the things that happened on the way back was the driver's side front brake got hot, so it stuck. So I was lucky able to figure out what it was. The pins are right tight. I'm going to show you that in a second. And so I was able to just tap on the pin head and the caliper itself to free it up, plus a little bit of a pry action. So just getting ready now to take it off. Two 10-ton bottle jacks supporting the axle and upper bases. So these pins here, I got the bushing off and I put a little bit of lubricant just inside, but they are just rock hard. They're not moving anywhere, so I'm going to remove them. Bought some brand new ones, and just to make sure that we've got no chance of corrosion coming back for a while. So I'll get that off. This bolt here, another one down there, 15 millimeter. There it is, 15 millimeter, and that'll allow the caliper to come off. I'll put it up on it's weighty, so I'll put it up on the side. Take a look at the shape. From what I can see so far, there's lots of pad left. Didn't do any damage, so I'll get that done and bring you back if there's anything to see. Okay, I'm not sure how much of that got caught, but again, the caliper pin is rock hard. That's not moving anywhere, both top and the bottom. The pads, same thing, jammed in. So I've got replacements. I've got both boots and new pins and new boots. And I did that again so that corrosion won't come back. These will be pitted, jammed in there, so I don't want it to come back, so I'm putting new pins in. And I got new boots. These could have been saved, but the one on the other side where the brake wasn't dragging, there was a piece missing. So yeah, rock hard, and the tracks, they're not moving anywhere. So see what I can do to get that all back in, bring it back. But yeah, pretty much what I expected, pretty much what I see all the time with my own cars. They're not salt trucks though, or they're not plow trucks. These things are just rock hard, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So it's next day. I didn't record much more because I was frankly getting tired. It was getting dark, and I don't think the content would have been that interesting. You know, it's brake work. It's really complications of the brake work I was doing. Sorry about the bit of background noise there. So things kind of deteriorated as the night went on. I mean, the pins, were seized. That's why I bought them. But they were way more corroded than I thought, and I ran into quite a few problems. This side here was the side that was originally overheating. This is the one I just used a impact driver on and snapped. So I drilled that out. This side, the other side of it, I wiggled and applied heat and penetrating fluid, and I got it out. Then when I went to the other side, which I thought was the working brake, it really wasn't. It was completely seized, and it was only the pistons that were applying pressure to the one side, because there was probably an 1/8 inch more wear in the inside pad. Anyhow,
I didn't use impact. I used a breaker bar. I used a lot of heat, torches, to oxyacetylene torches, and all kinds of penetrating fluid, and wiggled and wiggled and wiggled to try to break it free, and it was starting to move a bit. But really what was happening is I was fatiguing the bolts and snapped them off. Well, that was a son of a gun to get out. This one was a little bit more careful drilling out this one. This one's here, didn't get it centered properly enough, which meant getting out the pieces without distorting the caliper mount itself was a lot trickier to get the little pieces out, basically chipping it out and re-drilling. So it's done now. I won't bother showing you the shiny pins. I've replaced the bushings as well. The boots as well. One was half gone, and some of them are cracked, and I want to make sure they're tightly sealed. I packed all kinds of lubricant inside the boots and lubed up the slides really well. And the moral of the story here is, do this kind of maintenance. It's really easy to do. Do this kind of maintenance yearly to make sure you got good working slides. Well, it's been a few days. Life and weather got in the way. So after I got the front calipers repaired, I had a scheduled appointment for the safety inspection, so I didn't get a chance to do any more work on the truck. Frankly, I didn't get a chance to even look for anything else. Just needed to get in and get a list of what needed to be done. Anyways, pleasantly surprised. Came back, just I think they call it a drag link. To me, it looks more like a tie bar, but a drag link end needed to be replaced for the safety. So that is that bar there. So that was the only thing that needed to be done. Past emissions as well. During that test, a hose blew off, so that's something I have to look at. So it's a rear hose at the top of the motor, at the back, right underneath the cowl area. Probably the age, but I've also got some damage to the fan cowl as well, so I'll have to look at that. Don't see any overheating when it's driving normally. So I got more work to do. There's regular maintenance needs to be done. I've since I got it back, I've just been still cleaning up. I've also taken off the whole snowplow and all the wiring. That's been sold. And now, like I said, I'm going to check the rear brakes and do the basic maintenance. So I'll probably bring back for a separate video just for that, going through fuel filter changes, oil filter changes, and just generally checking fluids. I'm seeing that probably not all the maintenance was done on this truck that should have been done. It seems to be in pretty good shape, but not as well looked after as it should be. Anyhow, I think I'm going to end the video here now, and I'll have a next video. It's going to go through that maintenance activity. So anyway, everyone, thanks for watching.